I just want to show you guys some of the stuff that I have been blessed with, namely this property up here. 15 years ago, God was able to make the doors open and things to work out so that we were able to get move into this house. We sold our other house in Sierra Mesa down here in San Diego, and we ended up in this amazing place way out here east of San Diego, and it's the city of Alpine, smaller community, like 18,000 people population or so, and it is breezy up here. It's just one of the most spectacular places, I think, in the country, really, at least in the Southern California area. I love the vistas and the views, but so we got the house, and the first project I did, I'm going to show you, and then I want to show you what I did with the excavator my sons got me for Christmas to rent it. They rented it for a weekend, and I played with it for about half a day on Monday the following week, and it's so exciting because these projects I've thought about for years and years and years, and it is pretty amazing. The street I live in is called Casa de Roca, House of Rock. So I thought that was a little prophetic that we'd end up in a house located on the street by that name. Pretty crazy. So first thing I did was up here. We got the view. I don't know if I'll try to zoom here and see if it looks very good, but it's the ocean down there, if you can see it. And down here we end up with this amazing view from up here. That's Viejas Mountain out there in the distance. And so the first thing I did is make a little trail up to this point. You have this enormous rock right here, and these killer boulders up in this area. Texture and peel-aways and fault cracks and all kinds of stuff. But I took all the real rocks around this area and created this little flat zone. You can see it in the shadows with all the real rocks, just the flat sides I put up, and I put concrete between them. And there was no gate here, and so I added a gate, which was pretty awesome. So you can get back here. There's a little winding path that takes you up to that little vista there. And so made these this little sort of a patio area, I guess you might call it. And so that was like my first project. So we got this cool spot behind the water tower. I thought about putting, trimming all these chaparral like these guys, topping those and bringing them down, maybe taking a few out and creating a little gallery out here, an outdoor gallery. I'm always creating, always thinking of stuff. I don't know if you guys are like that out there. It's so cool to make stuff. Creativity is like what kind of gave me some sort of a future and things I got excited about. None of these trees were like this, so I trimmed the bottom branches off to give them sort of a look of a more of a tree and to create some shade areas. Thought about digging out the area on this side and creating a stacker block wall to make this little shaded area to be able to hang out and kind of look at the views which are out there, which are pretty awesome, man. And so that was like one of the earlier projects that I came up with. And that's the house, my work van. So I'm always like making trails and stuff. I made a bunch of trails all the way around the property. It's 3.5 acres almost, just about. Made some sail tarps up here, so when we have some workshops, we'll be able to hang out. Made this patio cover with wood, and I need to kind of make it less fire. I need to make it more fire resistant. A lot of these plants are from our old house. I don't know, it's just cool. I like bringing green anywhere I go. Again, this whole side of the house, the dirt came down and I took a bobcat here and opened it up. I'm just giving you like my little history on the house and things we've done. This is actually the same exact pond box that I had the other house with a rubber lining in it. Made it with scrap lumber. There's little feeder goldfish in there, and they have been there for a couple of years, man, maybe 5 years, and they haven't gotten any bigger. I don't know why that is. This monstrosity came from a friend of mine, client, and they were 2 little pots, so I stuck them there, and I never figured out where to take them, and then they've just turned into this monster. It's gonna take it over. So but anyways, just continue to walk the property. These trees are awesome. They have these beautiful pink blossoms that come out in the springtime. planted these pine trees. They were the size of my pinky, and they're getting pretty big. They're like taller than me, like 7-footers over there. They're right in the sort of near the leach line, so I guess they get good water. We try to water them. All this back area I dug out with a skip loader and got in the cheapest ground cover I could get, which was recycled concrete. That's why it's sort of a white color. And set up a storage area over there, which and my pumper is way out there in the distance. I've got the wide angle lens, so it looks like it's far away, but it's pretty not that far away. So anyways, here's another dream I had. I love you guys just checking in on some of my crazy thoughts. We've got a gate there. I put a gate in there. There wasn't one there before, so I added that, trying to make use of this property. So it's got this killer view up here where the flagpole is, which some of you've seen before. But right after we got, I dreamed of being able to make that into a crazy lookout place. So I needed a path to get up here with the Bobcat to carry concrete and stuff. So with the excavator, I was able to push out and flatten and manipulate the dirt a little bit here to be able to have a route to carry up concrete, bagged concrete. I always like wearing bagged concrete, and this is a long way to do some pumping. So created this cool pathway with the Bobcat. There was already one here before, and made some stairs over there by the grapevines. So I made this pathway up here so I could bring up concrete to be able to create sort of a viewing platform. And I'll get up here and I'll show you the view. It's just like crazy killer, man. So here's our flagpole, and I'm all winded from trying to talk and walk at the same time. And good old Glory up there at the top. Long may she wave, baby. So you can see over 100 miles to the mountains above Palm Springs. I think that's called Mount San Jacinto. And then we've got Viejas Mountain over here. A lot of these yucca bushes are all natives, and they're all growing everywhere. Made this little flat spot with rocks. And actually moved one of these monsters with a digging bar. I was thinking it was that one behind the thing, but made that little area. I like making flat areas everywhere to be able to utilize them, but this space I flattened out, pulled all the chaparral plants out, and buried some of the rocks, dug up some of the dirt from over here to be able to fill in these areas. It was after the rain, so it was good for compacting. I'm going to make a trail going down here to meet other trails. I've got two, one right in the distance and one out farther out. But this is a space I want to use for creating a really a structure right here with a stairway that would go up to like a view deck, and then I'd want to make the outside the artificial rock stuff, so it would match all these real stones out here. This whole area is just crazy massive rock all the way around, but it's just a killer spot and a killer crazy view spot. That's our road. That's Casa de Roca that winds its way up in the distance. That's Mount Cuyamaca at 6,800 feet or something. And so when you come around the bend at night, it's so cool to see the flag waving in the breeze, and then the Christmas lights we set up for this Christmas. So I'm going to keep them running as long as I can. They're actually LED, so they're good to go. So this is one project zone. So that'll be something we're gonna hopefully get to, God willing, in one day. Just these things are dreams of 15 years and years since we bought the house way back when, and it's just fun. Made these little flat areas I just always am into. I like to be able to get out in nature, and so we got these places that I made with rocks and flattened it out, and we watched the fireworks down there in that valley, so they blow up right there, boom boom, in the 4th of July and New Year's, except when everybody's freaked out. So this area was just all kind of this way, and I made some stairs, again just moving real rock and making them making the little pathway and stuff. So this is the pathway that goes back down I was talking about. I also have a G-scale train set that I had set up here. It was really cool. And some of these trees these little bush of chaparral. They're like the perfect thing for, because the little green, I don't know if you call them leaves, but they are so small, they sort of lend themselves to the scale of the G-scale train set. There's a 4-foot piece of track, and so you can see that it's a pretty big, those of you who didn't know about G-scale trains, they're that big. So got my little houses that I got back in the day. I want to get this thing back up and running. It's another project. Get these guys all set up so you could have the trains going around. But this little mound right above us is next to the house, and it's just so cool. I want to get benches and chairs and another little place to hang out right here. And I got a huge manzanita bush tree, I don't know what you want to call it. This is all native stuff that's been here, and the manzanitas are just glorious. This is a sumac, and it was like this big when I first started, so I started trimming it to try and turn them into trees, get shade. You know, property needs shade everywhere you can go. So this is the new project that I've been thinking about. Another one, besides the view lot fake rock view thing, I also wanted to put actually a castle, like right on top of that view platform in the middle of it, so you could climb up through the stairway on the inside of it through like a cave entrance, and then you'd be able to, the rocks on the outside would be high enough to be like a railing, and the inside you'd end up with the castle going up, a white castle, which would be forced perspective. The windows on the bottom would be bigger, and then they'd get smaller as they go up to the total top of the turrets and all that stuff. And I know how to do that because I made sandcastles for a living for a long time. But this is the place I thought of when I first got here for a cool waterfall. So this awesome rock grouping would be right here, and then right in that little pocket would be the beginning of the waterfall. And then it would just be a meandering stream that would come down, kind of weave its way down this little natural depression, and then move along, probably a bridge here and there, because I've got another walkway again going around to that little view lot up by the rocks. And so it'd come down here, and we'll check out what I did with my excavator. See his big old hole in the ground? Dug this all out. So there's a bridge right here that was there already. I did it by hand and dug it out by hand for 5-10 years ago, I guess it was. And so now I got the excavator, and I got to play with the big Tonka truck. It's so much fun. And dug this whole space out. This could be a pond. It could be a swimming pool if you wanted to get it all dialed in that way. It's not going to be very deep, maybe 3 feet or something, 4 feet maybe. And would have fish in it, and make it all a bio-filtered feature. Here's where the bridge would be right here, going across. And so I was able to dig all that dirt out, pile it up over on that side along this berm, and also level off this whole area to give it, isn't this cool? I just love working with power machines and stuff. So I was able to dig this whole area out. Here's a little tree I got for free when I bought a Christmas tree. Little tiny bare root tree about that big. And this little dude's doing all right. Somehow he managed to keep it wet. So this whole area is like a deck space. It's really awesome. And we have my second trail, which is the one right here that I made when I got into the house. So this was made after the one to the view lot that you showed. I'm giving you my whole history there, if you're not bored already. But I want to do some courses and classes up here and utilize these projects as a training space. This whole feature, I'm thinking about doing it with a liner, so you don't have to worry about cracks and waterproofing, because the liner serves that purpose, and you just put the concrete on top of it. So we'll sculpt this out with trowels. It's solid decomposing granite, and the claw barely could get into it. So there's no hydrostatic pressure laterally that would push in on it. So I don't think there's any need for any steel of any consequence, maybe a little bit, but this would be just, again, a fish pond, a biologically filtered thing. This whole pile here needs to be compacted with a gas-powered compactor, and we'll get that going. Gonna make a little pathway right here coming down. This is all dreams, man. Dreams that took a little step forward. Again, another manzanita up here. Another place could be right here for a flat area to kind of chill, hang out. Right up there where the palm trees are is where I want to do some workshops and stuff. So we brought the loader in from over here, coming down, and this is our little fire ring space we have with these beautiful pine trees, and I'm not sure what kind they are. You guys out there that know plants and trees would know what kind they are. They're really beautiful. And so cleaned out some of the trimmings. We put them over there. We some kind of burn them in the wintertime when everything's wet. And this whole area I leveled off. This is some of the first things I did. I got the skip loader, leveled this off, so this whole area now has more utility. You can use it for stuff. And used to come down here and hang out right here and have my quiet time and pray and read Psalms and Proverbs and stuff, which was cool. And that old manzanita, I kept trying to water it, but it just finally pooped out. It used to be alive. I don't know what took it out, but got my boulder bunkers, I used to call them. I called them, and got the vents. This whole thing needs to be finished out and made to look like a big boulder. I sprayed on my to the coat on there, you see, with just my mortar pumper. And then I threw gravel in it to try and give it a little bit more strength and stuff. Dug out this whole place for it, and it's pretty big. There's a good amount of storage in there. Got the barn we built when we got the house. It's right over the wellhead, and that thing was really cool. And again, here's another one of my trails. You can see past there's a little flat area. I want to turn that into a pottery studio, and I've got a potter's wheel, I got a kiln, and so I just need to clean it out and clear it out and organize it, and I'll be able to turn that into a pottery studio, which would be killer. And again, I dug all these and chopped and chiseled my way through these parts of the yard to make this trail, and this goes all the way around and up to the flagpole, which is up top. It's just cool. It's just, I don't know, it's workaholics. We just love to make stuff, and so that goes all the way around. I did the hedger and trimmed off stuff. I got to rake it and pull it out of here. With 3.5 acres, there's more than enough dirt to keep you busy. Got to trim the chaparral for fire issues, but I like turning them into little mini trees and stuff. I like green. I don't want to just clear cut the land. That'd be kind of gross. You can see the excavator. Tried to make an area there, flatten it out. Not sure if I'm going to make a little water, dry water bed here, stream bed or not. I had grand dreams of making this into an enormous pond, but this is a much more manageable size. Don't have infinite wealth at all, so I don't even know if any of this is going to be happening. But I gotta just keep dreaming, man. Never give up on your dreams and stuff, So I'm gonna trim this, rake this, and shovel it and get it all even. Build this berm up a little bit, maybe. Could make a little pathway that walks on up here to the upper pond area. But so this whole space, you could have little camp outs and set up your tents. We've had people come out and camp out up here and have a little campfire and cook stuff, and so these trees, it's just crazy. This thing used to be about that tall. Literally, this beautiful pine tree was just about 5 feet. Little tiny guy. But 15 years and you keep it wet, it'll keep growing. So anyways, giving you guys the full explanation of my dreams and the things that I've wanted to do here on this property. And I'm really excited for the future, even though the country seems like it's kind of lost its mind a little bit. At least some of the people in this country seem to have lost their mind, but we will continue to persevere, and keep on dreaming, growing, producing, pivoting when life gets too crazy, coming up with ways to adapt and accommodate the the world's circumstances and our own personal ones as well. Like some of you know, I got a new kidney back in June of this year, and that was awesome. So anyways, hope you're having a good day. There's a walk of some of our projects. Oh, there's one more project that I just remembered, and that is the garden. And that's for planting vegetables and stuff. And it's another place that I leveled off that wasn't even usable. The land was flat. It wasn't flat. It was tipping and sort of leaning downhill, and you couldn't really use it. So with that skip loader, one time I rented it, I ran around and just leveled everything off, trying to get the yard of the property to have more usable space, because it didn't have it at the time. And this tree right here was, again, just tiny. And you know, you give it time and water and rain, this guy is huge. It's just beautiful though. It's absolutely beautiful. So be able to have workshops up here and hang out. So we flattened this area, and then I added a little more dirt to it. We dug out the hillside there, and we got 3 cool planter boxes. We can add some more in here. Made one of my boulder bunkers right there, and that's all fake rock stuff. Could use a little bit of a tune-up, I guess, get some more color in there. But that's a storage facility that won't burn, and it actually had some venting in there, and I put in some lights, so you can go in there and have lights and stuff. So another boulder bunker thing. So here we have the garden. The new garden areas. We have another one over on the side there, but this is the new area. So we leveled this off and a little bit better, cleaned it up, and pushed it out a little bit. So we have this area for a garden. So we're going to try and figure out how to keep things growing. So anyways, a lot of cool stuff here up here in Alpine. Hope you guys are having a good day. You know, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. We just got to keep our head, look up, lean into our faith, and realize the light wins in the end. The darkness will not prevail. These are the last days, without question, in my humble opinion. And Jesus is coming back soon, so we want to be about blessing others as much as we can, and not getting sucked into fear, even though there's a whole lot of things going on that certainly could get some fear going. So you keep battling back against that, take those thoughts captive, and remember there's a lot of good people in the world still. The enemy comes to divide and conquer and devour and kill and destroy, and the devil is real, and there are forces out there that definitely want to wreck your life, and they want to take your freedom, and they want to take your peace of mind, and they want to take you into the pit of darkness, fear, and destruction. But we don't want to go there. So anyways, there you are, Mr. Dave here, up here at Alpine Sky Studio, my house. And we're going to have some workshops coming in the springtime. And we'll be teaching folks how to do this stuff, as well as other creative exploits. If you're curious about learning how to start a business, I've done that a couple times to a pretty darn good success. And we can teach you how to do that stuff too. So anyways, don't lose the faith. Be strong. And push back against the fear. Got more stuff at davehendersonalpine.com, and you get free PDF downloads. There's videos there you can see as well, and I've got workshops and courses there as well that can teach you how to do stuff. And you can go there anytime, check it out, download the free stuff. Again, that's davehenderson.podia.com. And my blogs and links are at www.davehenderson.com, and you can check in there, read some of my blogs, my ramblings about stuff, and learn something new. You know, keep learning, keep growing, no matter what life throws at you. All right. So remember, lastly, to be thankful and forgiving. Thankful and forgiving. Become an expert at those two things, and your life will be so much smoother. Got to forgive ourselves too, not just others. We are our harshest critic a lot of times. So God bless you guys. I appreciate, you know, all the kind words you send my way when I've gone through some hard stuff, and we need to, you know, do that with each other for sure. Stay close to your family.